this Thursday edition of the Love Update, Laventille Outreach for Vertical Enrichment. And I would have, as usual, just a few minutes just to give you an update as to what is happening. Of course, you know that during the course of the next week, you will hear more about the candidates relating, of course, to love in this, of course, arrangement, in this coalition of what is considered to be, I like to call it meeting of minds, but it's really, of course, a coalition of interests. And my interest, of course, and Love's interest is in Laventille. And therefore, I'm speaking strictly after the ground report, just to spend a few minutes on chatting with Laventillians. So don't forget, of course, you can contact me. I will take your calls personally. And I want to thank all of those who are calling almost profusely. And my phone is off the hook at times, meaning that it is ringing off the hook, a term that means it is ringing frequently. And what time of the day doesn't matter. Of course, making your position clear as to where you can make a contribution. And of course, for that, we are extremely appreciative. We will be, of course, focusing over the weekend on the start of putting the main office in place right here on George Street. We will be doing that. Very convenient as you come off the pavement right inside of the building. We'll be doing that. Of course, we have secured, of course, computers and other administrative, what I consider to be equipment and tools to make it efficacious. We have, of course, to look at the question of the voter list. We want to get an updated one, and of course, and to make sure that we can identify people. We had to get, of course, persons to fit the criteria for, or as, let's say, canvassers, as well as, of course, street captains, people who know who it is to get out there, because we know that the PNM elements will be on their P's and Q's, and they will be, of course, watching. But we cannot afford, whether you are dependent on a CPEP or URP and so on, just be careful. I don't want you to lose your job. But there will be much more when the time comes. So if you know that you have such a concern, then I suggest that you find ways and means to communicate. But if it is you cannot be visible because of that, I would understand that. I'm from Laventille, so I understand that. Again, too, of course, I am satisfied that those elements that the government and the police will call criminals or gangsters and so on, I have to accept, and anybody with a modicum of common sense will accept that these are part and parcel of our community, and we have to deal with them, and we have to find ways and means of moving them to the next level. Those kinds of issues I will be, of course, addressing in due course, because we'll have those who we want to prevent from going on the path that would lead them into the hands of the police or into the hands of a gang. We have those who are already engaged. We need to deal with that. And of course, we need to deal with those who are leaders but will encourage that kind of development only to the detriment of the overall community, as we heard today, with respect, of course, to advisories against Trinidad and Tobago. We have, of course, visa now institutionalized, or visa, which is a restriction, visa restriction, going to the UK, and all of those issues that would affect us here in Laventille. We must, of course, address those as well. So I thought I should just share that with you before, of course, we conclude. But let me just say this as well, that there is, and just to show you how this government is about mama guy and old talk and deception. This is the real. I'm going to share with you a video where, of course, the government, the Prime Minister, in his camouflage, in his false attempt to open a fake central block called at the Port of Spain Hospital, at at the Port of Spain Hospital, the entire thing appeared to be a shell, or a substantial part of it appeared to be a shell, and was merely a camouflage to suggest that somehow they have formally opened. And as Mikey rightly said on the ground report, it appears that he, instead of calling Mr. X, you know, Mr. X in the cartoon, putting X all over the place, well, Rowley seemed to be want to be called Mr. Plaque. And of course, some people say plaque, which is of course a nasty smelling scum or phlegm on your teeth. But of course, whichever way it is, whether it's a plaque where you put a designated signature or a designated set of writings to suggest that to commemorate a particular event, well, whether it's that or one where you have to get it off your teeth for bad breath not to step in, and of course, and other cavity that you may well get as a consequence of the presence of the germ that is associated with that particular situation in your mouth. Whether it's that or, as I say, or the other plaque, the fact of the matter is that that is an attempt to once again deceive the people, believing that somehow they wouldn't find out. Look at it, and then of course we then come to the end of.
Today we mark the practical completion of construction of this central block. A round of applause for that.
When you build, you don't build for today, you build for the future. So we took the opportunity to build not a replacement in number of beds, a restriction to the floor size.
Today we mark the practical completion of construction of this central block. A round of applause for that.
When you build, you don't build for today, you build for the future. So we took the opportunity to build not a replacement in.
Today we mark the practical completion of construction of this central block. A round of applause for that.
When you build, you don't build for today, you build for the future. So we took the opportunity to build not a replacement in number of beds, a restriction to the floor size, but we maximize what could have been done at the time. And today, we have come here to celebrate and to take control of the practical completion of a 540-bed modern structure, which will contain some of the leading aspects of healthcare delivery in the Caribbean, if not in the world. I'm confident that we can see a new hospital as a guarantee of improvement in healthcare delivery.
The man has gone mad. He opened that, to say that he put a plaque and his name will be there from time for eternity, so long as the building, of course, lasts. No, that is deception. That is abuse. That is insulting our intelligence. And they have been doing that for decades in Laventille. Mama Guyan, the executive of the PNM in Laventille, making them, of course, a put up for election person who once had an association with Laventille, whether it be Hines, whether it be Donna Cox, whether it be Hippolyte, Martin Joseph, and we can go on and on. No, we have our own political organization called LOVE, Laventille Outreach for Vertical Enrichment, and we hitch our wagon to Kamala Prasad Bisesa because what they say they do and what they do, they actually say. So, exciting times ahead, and we have a duty and responsibility, of course, to make certain that we are on the right side of history. And so, people, that is where we are. And of course, stay tuned for another segment. Maybe I'll have it tomorrow, even though, of course, tomorrow is Friday, but just after the ground report, we'll have another segment. So until we see each other tomorrow morning, of course, no, don't forget tonight, the corridor transformation is on. but I thought I should give you an update as to love and what we are doing on a daily basis, so that when you go to the polls, you know exactly. Don't forget, the rocket is the way to go. The sky is the limit. Yes, indeed.
So the treasury broke and they say that recession jamming. So no foreign countries really start migrating. They lose faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talking nonsense, but the majority of we decide we're not going to run, because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we country facing its darkest hour, so our people need us today more than ever. But in our fight to recover, if ever you feel to surrender, it have one little thing that I want you all